Okay, so let us go through all the strategies one by one for all the different types of questions. And this is something super important for you as you are taking your test tomorrow, right? You got
Mhm.
your PSET test tomorrow. What we are going to do is we are going to go through all these questions, a few of them, all the variety of questions here, and we're going to learn some important strategies for the test. So the first thing is about how you keep your cool during the test.
Okay.
How are you going to keep your cool during the test? Like as soon as you enter the hall, you would be a
Hmm.
little anxious. How will the
Yeah.
test be? What kind of questions am I going to get? So how will you take care of that?
I was just trying to focus on how I'm going to do. Like, just focus on the present moment. Take deep
Yes,
breaths.
yes. So first thing is keep your cool. For this, you can do deep breathing and you can also just close your eyes for, we used to do this, right? A few sessions. Just close your eyes for, let's say, 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. Before you start the test, it is very important that you use, like, you are in that state of mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Deep breathing, close eyes for 10 seconds. And I mean, just don't nothing complicated. Let's make it very simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the second thing which I want you to remember while doing the test is do easy questions first, which means you're
Okay.
going to do your test in 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
What are the 2 rounds? The first round is going to be the easy round,
Mm-hmm.
and the second round is going to be, let's say, the hard round. What do you mean by that? So let's say your question has, like in case of SAT, you've got 27 questions,
Mm-hmm.
right? So out of
Yeah.
27 questions, let's say 20 questions are easy and medium, and
Mm-hmm.
7 questions are hard. Now, they are not marked as easy or hard, but by reading, you can make out that, oh, this question seems to be pretty direct, so you can do it directly. This question requires some more thinking, so it is a medium level question, right? Seven hard.
Mm-hmm.
So, what will you do in this case?
Just do the easy ones first.
Do 20 easy first, right?
Wait,
Just
are they
keep,
like are the easy ones the grammar ones and like the decision? Not the
yeah, yeah,
decision.
yeah, 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 that is correct. So keep
One?
skipping the hard ones.
Okay.
Okay, let's see which are the
Mm-hmm.
easy questions. Like all these questions, which are just replacing one word, where you just have to figure out the scenario. These are all easy questions. First 5 questions, where these are, checking your vocabulary. So either you know it or you don't know it. At least you can quickly decide, oh, it's very simple. I know it. Oh, no, no, no. This seems to be like the ones for which you can take a quick decision. These are all easy questions, the initial one, right? Even
Mm-hmm.
the like up to question 10, text 1, text 2, all these are easy. The questions which come in the middle, where there is a huge text or some data like a table 10, 11, these questions 12, 13, where there is a huge data, these kind of questions, which require a bit of analysis. You know, there's no escape for it from it. You cannot just decide it quickly. So these middle questions are a little hard ones. You can just quickly read them and see whether they are making sense to you or not. If not, then
Mm-hmm.
skip it for the time being. Then, right after that, there are these grammar questions.
Mm-hmm.
So from 19 onwards, you see the grammar questions. All these are easy right till the end of it, right? So how is the test
Mm-hmm.
distributed? First few questions, easy. Middle questions, hard. Last few questions, easy again, right? This is how the whole test is structured. First few questions you'll find easy in English. Last
Mm-hmm.
few middle questions are hard, and the last few questions are easy. Now this is just a very like crude, fundamental kind of distribution of questions. I'm not giving numbers there, but
Mm-hmm.
generally you'll find that the middle questions are a bit harder than the initial and the last few questions. So you can do these easy questions, which are at the beginning and at the end first, and then go for dealing with the hard questions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Next important thing that you have to take care of is that you have to have a strategy for each type of question,
Okay.
right? We have
Mm-hmm.
studied all the strategies, but here I would like to summarize and do a few questions of each type. Okay. So let me ask you, Hansini, what is your strategy for the easy question, for the vocabulary questions?
First, cover up the answer and think.
Okay,
First, think of your own answer and then find that answer in the multiple
perfect.
choices.
So you cover up the answers and have a similar word which matches it, and then select the word which matches your choice. Also, find some key clues in the text. Key clues which are also called as some context clues, right? Some kind of adjective or some kind of some special word. Let's see some examples, okay? So let's see some strategies for these vocabulary questions at the beginning. Like, for example, let's solve the first two or three questions. I'll tell you what. Like, for example, look at this. It says something is closely related, not closely related, though. Now, this is important. Look at this word. Though not closely related, which means it's not similar, the hedgehog
Mm-hmm.
tenres, I don't know what is this, tenrex, but hedgehog tenrex of
Mm-hmm.
this share basic something true hedgehogs, basic of I don't know what, including protective spines, pointed snouts, and small body sizes. Hedgehog something, maybe hedgehog's body. Um I am now inclined to see the examples, but I'm keeping it in mind. I'm still trying to find out what it is. So those are closely related. Hedgehog princes of Madagascar share basic something. True hedgehogs, including protective spines, pointed snouts, and small body sizes, traits the two groups of mammals independently developed in response to equivalent roles in their respective habitats, which was completed. Now, I am a little clueless here, honestly. I don't know. Though not closely related, the hedgehog, this thing of Madagascar, share basic, maybe traits with,
Mm-hmm.
example of doesn't make sense. Basic
Yeah.
example of true hedgehogs, basic concerns about, again, I don't think hedgehog would have any concerns. Basic
Mm-hmm.
indications of true hedgehogs, doesn't make similarities look good to me. It sounds very good. Basic similarities with true hedgehogs, because I see there are, oh, so now I can make out. Hedgehog tendresses probably is another species of hedgehog, right? Though not
Mm.
clearly related, this this one. So HT of Madagascar share some basic similarities with true H. So I really don't want to know what is tendresses because I've already sorted. I don't need to be perfect there, right? Including
Mm-hmm.
this and that, states the true groups of mammals. So I know that we're talking about two different things. My best choice is similarities with, and I go with it. So can you see that I'm not going with an agenda of knowing everything? I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
improvising while doing the question. So
Okay.
and second thing is I'm using elimination rather than selection. Okay. Now, this is super important. Number one, number one, use elimination rather than selection as your criteria of select of getting to the right choice. So don't think what can be the right answer. Think what can be the wrong answers. Can I throw them? So if you keep throwing the wrong options, you are left with the right one. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Number two, don't go with any agenda of knowing. So rely more on logic than memory or knowledge. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
This is super important. We try to have a strategy all the time. But you know what? There might be questions which totally stump you because you won't know what is going on. Like Terence's hedgehog. How do I know it? I
Mm-hmm.
might select to get fearful, start thinking, oh, I don't know what it is. Or I can just use some context clues. I don't need to know everything, right? This is again
Mm-hmm.
very important. You do not need to know everything to get to the right answer, right?
Okay.
So this is how you're going to solve some vocabulary questions. Let us do one or two vocabulary questions quickly. So I would like you to attempt this question number two, applying all these strategies. Okay.
So for this, I don't really know what B and C mean. Like, would I just
Yeah, so you can guess them. So you know prudently, you know inadvertently. Do you know them?
inadvertently, wait, I think I do.
Inadvertently means unknowingly.
Yeah, it's like
So actually,
accident.
yeah. But let's focus on the story. Can you just tell me in brief what's going on here?
Yeah. So this editor
Mm,
like introduced her anthology, blah blah blah. And
Mm.
then like she identifies and as an increasing sense of like more feminist mode of writing in 1700s.
Yes.
But in difference, many women that are authored science fiction stories were less deliberately signaled. Less.
What do you mean by deliberately signaled? What do you mean by less deliberately signaled? So there is a contrast there. This lady is not very deliberately signaled,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, sorry, this lady is very deliberately signaled, which means because she's different from others who are less deliberately signaled, which means she is more deliberately signaled, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because they are saying in contrast. So more deliberately signaled means very clear. So I have a word here, increasing sense of clear feminism or clear feminist or strong feminist.
Yeah, so I don't think it's D because it's like you don't know what's happening.
Gone,
It's
yes,
D. And
yes.
then
B,
A means like I don't think prude doesn't fit to it.
prudently, prudently is carefully. So yes,
Identifying.
yeah. Prudently doesn't really, I mean, we don't have to have any careful approach towards something. So I don't know. What were you saying initially? You said which one do you want to eliminate? Let me ask you that.
I think I don't even know what B and C means.
Overtly, okay, let's try to guess its meaning. Over something. Over means like
More like more
more.
action.
Yeah. So over is more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then
So
core.
she's and cordially, coordination, for cordial, very cordial person. Cordial person looks like a good person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So cordial way of working is very synergistic, very cooperative. So is she
Okay.
cordially feminist? Doesn't I don't know.
Would it be B? It's in
Yeah,
more.
it is.
Okay.
So this is how you can guess the meaning of the words that are there. Even if you don't know them, you
Mm-hmm.
can pretty much guess them. And this is so important, right? Let us say you learn 10,000 words of the world. You still can have that 11,000th word which you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So no need to rely on memory, and you can use these tools. Overtly means something over, something too much, something more, like that. The answer is B. Okay, so that's how you can guess the meaning and get the answer. And you would definitely be getting some words which are like which you don't know. Like for example, out of these words, let us see which words you know, which words you don't know.
Readdressing means like addressing it again, kind of guessing that.
Yeah, yeah,
And then precluding sounds like including kind of thing.
yeah. It precludes. Means it does
Yeah, like
not include.
pre
Yeah,
it pre-includes it. Is it
yeah.
pre? I don't know.
Actually, precludes means at the beginning itself you are saying no, this is not my choice. So it precludes. Uh, like for example, if you are a science student, it precludes anything related to drawing and art. A science student
Mhm.
doesn't get involved in drawing and art. So it precludes that. That's what it means.
Okay.
So let's see what is the scenario, what's going on there.
Mm. I think this trend of kind of overlooking teenagers and adults in research
Yeah.
on social media use.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then scholars have like found, okay, the scholars begin to like expand their focus to include fast like a group that is growing using kind of like the social media.
Yeah.
And which was senior citizens.
Yes.
I think that isn't that it. That's it, right?
So it seems like they are trying to um, dash the long-standing trend of overemphasizing teenagers and young adults in research on our social media use. So either they are supporting it or going in some other direction. Scholars have recently begun. So this is the word recently, which means whatever is written before comma was not done recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is an old trend because it says long-standing trend means the old trend. So either they are discarding the old trend and doing something new, or they are following the old trend and doing something new. I think they are discarding because they've used the word recently in the second part.
Mm-hmm.
So let me try to see now the second part. What are they doing recently? Recently began to expand their focus to include the fastest growing cohort of social media users, senior
Mm-hmm.
citizens, which means up till now they were not focusing on senior citizens,
But
right?
now
Now
they
they have started, yeah, that so senior citizens also use social media a great deal. So let us try to use these words. Exacerbating the long trend of da 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 da. Exacerbate is to worsen something, to make it bad, like exacerbating the condition of my health. So that is,
is it kind of like is it kind of similar to like exaggerating?
uh, yeah. It is similar
Like if you
to,
like think about it like that, but I don't know the
yeah.
word. If you like think about it like that.
Like, for example, if you have got a health condition, let's say you are suffering from cold and you went for swimming. So what will happen if you have cold and you go for swimming? Your
You
cold
get
will improve or it will exacerbate.
it will get bad.
It will
So
get bad. So exacerbate means to get bad, right?
mhm.
See, the word
Mhm.
there is X, which is
Okay.
bad, right? So exacerbate is to worsen something, some medical condition. Do you think it can be the word?
No.
So go on. Redressing. Redressing means correcting, redressal of the problems. To redress the problem of traffic means addressing it, solving it. That is redressing.
No, it's not it. They're not solving the trend.
So redressing the long trend of overemphasizing teenagers. So up till now, they were overemphasizing teenagers and young adults when they were doing research on social media. They've corrected it by including senior citizens also, because it's not just kids who use social media or young adults who use social media, it is the senior citizens also. So are they correcting something? These guys' focus was just on young adults. Now they have
Yep.
started
Yeah, but now they started to expand it on.
senior citizens. Do you think redressing can be a choice? Should we keep it
I
so?
let's keep that and then we
Keep it.
can
Epitomizing. What is epitome? The highest level of something. Like a very good example of something is epitome.
okay.
So
So
can it be epitomizing the long trend means like giving further emphasis on it or putting that in as an example? Like for example, I can say that Um, Tower, no, what is that? Um, Tower of Liberty is the epitome of architecture. That New Jersey, you've got that tower. What is that called? Is it Tower of Liberty? What do you call it?
I
That
I don't remember. I don't know.
in New York or someplace, there's this lady sitting, standing with something like that, no? Which
Statue of
represents
Liberty.
America. Ah, Statue of Liberty. So, Statue of Liberty is the epitome of art.
Mm-hmm.
So, epitome is means the highest point, the most prominent example. That is what it is. But uh, I don't know. They're not trying to epitomize something.
Yeah, they're
My
not.
word is redress. What do you say?
I think so.
They
Yeah.
are solving a problem because up till now they were overemphasizing. They've used this word overemphasizing, which means something over means they're not liking it, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't the best thing they were doing. So they are redressing the long-standing trend these guys have come up with helping senior citizens. So like this, you can use the context clues to get to the right answer. But yeah, I can clearly see the need for learning some words and vocabularies also, which we will continue doing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing that we'll do. Let's move on to the next question. How can you solve this? So we'll do this and then we'll go to some other questions after this.
Okay. Oh, super.
Can you imagine this scenario? Like what's happening?
Okay, so the narrator is riding down in the taxi down the street. And then most of them were like dressed in blue every day, but on Sunday they were like mostly wearing black, festive black. But now here they are disputing. Every Isn't disputing like disagreeing?
Yeah, disputing is, but here the way disputing is used, disputing every inch our passage with their wagons and trucks, their bursting baskets carried at an angle, steeply self-confident on the back. So seems like there is a lot of crowd on the road
Mm.
because these guys are carrying their own vehicles, hand-driven, sometimes carrying on their back. Have you been to a busy market?
On market?
Yeah, a street market where people are and vendors are selling stuff. You
Yeah.
have to pass through them, and it's very difficult to find a path because there are so many vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Is there such kind of market there in America?
There's like technically not in streets, but there's like some cultural places like Chinatown or like other places where yeah, you there's like markets
Yeah. So
that
those
happen.
open air markets like Chinatown one, where when you pass through the road, there are so many people on the road that you find it difficult to find a path. That kind of scenario I'm getting here.
Um, Arguing, right?
So arguing about means talking with you. Disapproving of means not agreeing. Asserting possession of means they are like saying, "Oh, this road is mine. You cannot come here." And providing resistance to means you're probably not able to move. So there are so many of them, they don't want to stop you, but then just because there are so many of them, you're not able to move freely. So disputing by its very meaning would mean argue. That is correct.
Yeah.
But arguing about every inch,
No, that doesn't
that
make sense.
that will be. So which word?
Would it be C? Because when it says every inch.
A certain possession of every inch. Means they are saying, oh, this road is mine, you cannot pass through here. Would they
Okay.
be doing it if they are vendors selling something? Would they hate the visitors? Or would they compete with the visitors? A vendor selling something cannot say, oh, this is my road, you can't come here. He would like to welcome you.
Yeah, they would say that.
So
Mm,
asserting possession doesn't make sense to me again.
the A and C.
So A and C gone. It should be either B or D.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it can be
Is
D?
it D?
That's
No.
you're right. Providing resistance to every inch, which means you are not able to move or passage. So they are providing resistance to the passage because there are so many, some carrying their wagons, hand trucks. You know what is a hand truck? They move it with their hand, and it's like a some load, and they just move it with the hand truck. So it's not a
Okay.
mechanical truck, it's a hand truck, which means it's driven by hand. In India, we call it as thela, in North
Mm,
India. Have you seen a hand truck? A person carrying a heavy
yeah.
load on a
Yeah.
some kind of wagon, and yeah, there's some yeah place to carry. So that's what you find it on airports also. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
those
sometimes.
coolies carrying the hand trucks. They're bursting baskets and stuff like that. So they are providing resistance too. So what do you gather from doing these questions and sitting?
It's like you have to focus on some of the main words that guide you.
Exactly, and you don't. I mean, like for example, this one, all the words you knew,
Yeah.
disputing, arguing, everything, but still getting to the answer is more about understanding the context than knowing the words. Do you see that?
Yeah.
It's about being imaginative and and transporting your mind to that scenario, creating some pictures in your mind of what kind of environment there is, and then getting to the right answer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So don't think, oh, I need to have vocabulary alone. Vocabulary will definitely help. At the same time, you need to have a very strong grip on the scenario. Okay. Like, let's do the fifth one now. I'll leave it open to you. You've got 1 or 2 minutes to do it, and I want you to say ready when you're ready with your answer.
Okay. Would it be A?
Controversial among other Muslim philosophers. Okay, let's try to understand this. So, if not A, then
Hmm?
what's your second choice? If not A, then
It's kind of going towards C, but I don't know.
okay. Let's try to see what's going on. Recent scholarship means scholars. They are
Mm-hmm.
undermining the claims that work of 12th century Islamic philosopher Rashid were inconsequential to sorry, so that is the word, that's the answer there. Inconsequential to other Muslim philosophers of this. So, they are saying that, you know what? Um, so these guys are, so when they are undermining something, which means they are saying no to it.
Mm-hmm.
So they are saying that, oh, this guy's work was not inconsequential because they are undermining it, right? To other Muslim
Oh,
philosophers. Yeah.
no, wait, that wouldn't be right because his works were available.
Yeah.
Right?
But then this guy came up with a very strong suggestion. So one person, which means these scholars, are not sure. They are so they are very subtly and they are very softly supporting the view that, you know what, this Islamic philosopher is not inconsequential because they are undermining. So I'm saying it's so these scholars softly said that this philosopher was really influential. The other guy, the other factor, what is the other factor? His location, since he was in Spain, that meant that his work was very easily distributed throughout Islamic thought. So basically, if you look at this, there are two different thoughts entertained here. One is talking about it a little softly, another is talking about it very strongly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the answer to this one is inconsequential too. Now, for these types of questions, which require so much of thinking and so much of twists and turns, I would like you to move on. Don't
Okay.
pay too much attention to the questions which seem to be a little out of range. Just select something, mark it, and go to the next one.
Okay.
Because even if you spend too much time, there's there's no guarantee you will get it right.
Yeah.
So that's the strategy. Okay, let me just write it there.
Also, can we go over the words like thus, consequently for those, the stems?
Yes, yes, yes. So for
Then,
the questions which require too much of analysis, even the vocab ones, right? Do them at the end. Do not do them at the beginning. Go for the questions which are easy bets,
okay.
right? So that is what I want you to follow, that you're going to do the test in two rounds. First, even in the first round, when you read it and you find that, oh, it is not working, I don't get any clue about it, leave that question for the time being. You can come back to it later because
Okay.
I don't. So the questions which are difficult for you would be difficult for everyone else. Now, hear this very carefully, Hansini. This is something which I want you to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Your marks do not depend on doing the difficult questions correct. Your marks depend on number of questions you make correct.
Okay.
Whether they are easy or difficult does not matter. So let us say if you find a difficult question and you give too much time to it, and since you gave too much time to it, you could not give enough time to an easy question and you lose it. Let's say you lose two or three easy questions because you gave too much time to a
Mm.
difficult question. Even if you get the difficult question correct, do you think you will be a winner?
No, because we lost the easy ones.
Yeah. So do you understand what am I saying?
Mm-hmm.
What? That you should have some scapegoats.
Okay.
Have some scapegoats. What do I mean by scapegoats?
It's like
The
something
ones you
other.
yeah, the
Yeah.
ones you sacrifice to get other questions right. There's no point getting one question right and getting and ignoring three questions.
Mm-hmm.
Call all these big questions as scapegoats. You have to escape them or you have to kind of cull them just to make sure that you get enough time to do the easy ones. So no point spending too much time. You should spend too much time on them in the second round because the second round is for that. The first round is to move swiftly through the whole test paper. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to do. Okay,
Right.
so that's that. We are done with this question. Now you're saying something, the root words and stem words and stuff like that. Not the
Yeah.
right time to go into that topic because I'll have to kind of give you a lot of examples and
Okay.
things. So we will go through them at a later time. I want to focus on strategies right now, which you should apply straight away in the test. Like, for example, this one. Can you see question number 6 and tell me what should be the answer for this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it A? They're transitioning?
He looks like a good one. Have you gone through all others?
Yeah.
Okay, how A makes sense to you?
Because for this one,
Yeah.
I read the underline one, it just said that the painter was like he like changed his transformation. Like he went from
Perfect.
landscape
Can you see
to
how fast you got question number 6 correct? It not did
mm-hmm,
not even take 30 seconds. Now,
mm-hmm,
what if you are stuck on the first five questions itself and you do not get to read question number 6? You spend too much time on first five and you do not reach to 6 and you think that, oh, let me just get these questions correct first. So I think you understand what I'm saying. Basically,
mm-hmm.
you don't have to stick to a question. Select the question which you want to do first. Be
Okay.
selective, right? Okay, let's do the seventh one then.
Is it B?
Yeah. Were you between B and D?
I was between B and D, but then D like kind of points to a specific part, while B like kind of said the overall one.
Perfect, you got it. This is good. Can you see that you are taking just 10 seconds or 20 seconds, max 30 seconds to answer these questions? So I
Mm-hmm.
want you to focus on these questions more because
Okay.
these are easy bets and you'll definitely get them right. In
Mm-hmm.
vocabulary, if you find that some words are totally out of scope, just select one choice which you want to select at that moment and move on, right? But these questions you are doing so fast. This is amazing. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what you should do. Select
Okay.
the questions you want to do first. Okay, let's do this eighth one. Seems like there's a long text, but let's read the text first and then we'll go for the option.
Is it D?
Okay, were you between D and something else?
Um, wait. Mm, I was between B and D.
Yeah. So these words, who, however brave-hearted and even much of a daredevil upon a pinch, seems nevertheless to have evinced throughout many parts of his career singular patience, which means there is one singular quality which is very
Yeah.
unique to this guy. Certain aspect of his
Oh, so
character. Yeah,
more would be B because it's
yeah, it will be.
certain aspect. Okay.
So yeah, looking at the tone, you can get it. Yeah. And you're doing
Mm,
good on these questions. I can see that. You have got a very fast comprehension and your reading speed is good. Just that we definitely have to work on vocabulary to get those
yeah.
questions also right. But on these
I'm like,
questions, you are
yeah.
super.
I'm kind of like skimming through it, but like just
Yeah,
looking at the context and then like focusing on the part.
which is important. Yes. Doing correctly. Let's do this text one, text two thing.
D.
Yeah, that is correct. And that was really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read the whole story and you got it, or you skimmed through it? What do you get from it?
First of all, I just read that
Yeah.
the person production, like, produced the Nutcracker. And then I read the underlined stuff and then I skipped to text too. And then I
Hmm.
just skimmed through it, got a summary, and then just connected it.
That's good. That's good. You're getting these questions correct, and that is really fast. Now, these are the questions in the middle which will require a bit of thinking, but I think you are a fast reader. That's your strong point. That's your edge,
Mm-hmm.
that you're fast at reading. So, even with these long questions, I think you will do good.
D.
Less useful than torches. Animal fat lamps were less useful. More often and less useful. Does it go together? You said B or D?
D.
D for dog, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So B gone. I was actually eliminating. I was at A and B. Both of them I threw off. Were reluctant to draw any conclusion from because of difficulty they had replicating like that. Team tested this slide and learned something. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the best main idea or summary of it. That is good.
Yeah. I was between A and D because B didn't, I mean, they stated a wrong fact, first of all.
Yeah,
C,
yeah,
they didn't say it was difficult. They just learned it. So
yeah.
I was between A and D.
So you're doing good on these questions, which means
Mhm.
so to finally tell what is the strategy, let's sum it up. So let me just ask Nuha also to enter. She will be there, but I'll still focus on all the strategies.
I
You're
think
going
someone
to
else.
use elimination rather than selection as your criteria for getting to the right choice, right? Do not force on getting the right answer the way you are doing right now, eliminating the wrong choices. That is more important. Rely
Mhm.
more on logic than memory or knowledge, right?
Okay.
Do not need to know everything to get to the right answer. You can skim through it the way you are doing it, right?
Hmm.
Skim through long stories to get the essence, because essence is all that counts. You don't need to know every small detail. For the questions
Hmm.
which require too much of analysis, vocab ones, do them at the end. Do not do them at the beginning. Go for the easy bits first. Your strength, as I see, is fast reading. You read like lightning. I don't know how do you do it, but that is your strength. So you should
Hmm.
focus on long questions because you can very quickly throw away the unimportant details and focus on the important ones and get the right answer. And most importantly, have some scapegoats. What are these
Okay.
scapegoats? The
The
questions
one.
which seem to be, yeah, don't need to be perfect, right? You don't need to be perfect. There's nothing like, oh, perfection. I got all questions correct. Nothing like that. Even if I do some questions or tests there, I might find some questions to be totally out of scope for me. I won't even know what to do with them, how to get to the right ones. I would rather skip them at the beginning and come back to
Mm-hmm.
them at the end.
Okay.
So have some scapegoats, maybe two, three questions of that sort, which you should do only at the end. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much about it. All the very best to you for your test tomorrow, Hansini. We'll
Thank
take it
you.
forward. Bye bye. Take
Thank
care.
you. Can you share this with me?
I'll share this whole thing with you after this class.
Okay. Thank you. Have a
Okay?
great
Bye
day.
bye. Take care.
Bye.
So, how are you doing, Nuha?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much.